Alright, we are back after a almost 5 hour stream with Logic. I decided apparently we needed more, and it was a conversation that came up during this stream, and it's about why the current Total War competitive scene is not very good. I had a talk with Jay Phoenix about it, but just thought I would share some of the reasons that's not very good. So as you saw from our previous videos, there's various bugs like the devolve being able to cast on the ground and the 95% speed buff for your enemies with one of the Skaven items. So there's other things like that. But here is an image from a game today from Jay Phoenix's perspective. So this was in a game of our weird 2v2 kind of style tournament. And you can see here that Marcus Wolfhart cast a net on Jay's army. Now it netted down my Ark in the Black and my skeletons, sure. And then for some reason it also nets down the Puremain Company, who are outside the ring, but it's debatable, right? Now the bug that comes in with a lot of area of effect abilities is shown very clearly here as this back White Lion gets netted for absolutely no reason. And a lot of AoE abilities right now, whether they be buffs, debuffs, heals, nets, damage, soul stealer, anything like that frequently has this bug where it just affects things that are way outside of its range, and it's pretty bad. So that's one of the reasons that not a lot of people want to play right now, is that sort of thing is prevalent, and you know, it just makes AoE spells very, very good and hard to deal with. So that's the first issue, and it is a pretty big issue for a lot of like Soul Stealer or Final Trance things are now harder to deal with than they ever should be. Now this replay I'm pulling up is also from that same tournament, but something happened to me in it that perfectly explains another bug that came with this patch, and it is sometimes when you're casting a missile spell, there's a problem with it where it'll double cast or triple cast sometimes without even the caster meaning to do anything. And it's really annoying. And what's extra annoying is with this bug, like this is not an indication of the bug, but it is a dumb bug that I've noticed with all casters, like the icon will appear beneath them instead of beneath their target, that like they're going to get fireballed or something. So you'll see here in a second, where's my lord? Heinrich Kemmler is going to heal a bunch and then come over here and get shot. So once we see the thing beneath Wurzag, okay, so we just cast Gaze of Mork. It should be on cooldown for a bit. You saw the little thing appear beneath him, it should appear beneath his target instead. But where is the triple cast? Because we're going to see three bugs for one. So the first bug is that it appears under him instead of me, not letting me know I'm targeted. Okay, here we go. So there's one cast of the Gaze of Mork. There's another cast of Gaze of Mork, and watch very carefully. There's going to be a third cast that's invisible coming in. You see the no missile trail, but watch here, there'll be some explosions. Very soon. Yep. You can see him landing behind me as well. So that's a bug that's really affecting the community, because for one cast of Gaze of Mork, you get 3 off, and you see how much he nuked Kemmler during that. There's not much I can do against it. But also, as far as I understood from talking to some of the players and talking to the player that did this, Bob Tresh, is that he didn't do anything. Like, he cast it as normal, and it just went off 3 times. And therefore, it's not even like something you can channel with like bug abuse, because it's just random when it happens, and that's terrible for competitive play. So that's another big problem with the community. So you have invisible missiles, you have no idea who the magic missiles are being cast at unless you're watching very carefully, you can have double or triple casts of them, and the AoE magic you cast can affect things outside of its range, and certain single target things can be cast at the ground, so magic in general is broken right now. And magic is a big part of this game. And then for anybody who hasn't seen it, there's also another problem with the game. Where's the Chaos? Boop. Let's get Sigvald, and then just a bunch of Chaos Warriors. So there's another problem with the game right now, and that is chariots are kind of messed up. So if we get a Great Bray Shaman on Tuskor Chariot, leave all this, I don't care about it, and a Wargore on Tuskor Chariot, with another Wargore on a Tuskor Chariot. So I've spent, let's even just get the spells we want. Okay, I've spent about let's round up and say 4,000. They have an entire army on chariots. And a couple chariots in the game, such as the Orc Boar chariots, the Tuskor chariots, and the Beastmen single mount chariots are just completely broken. You can just ride through anything with them. And it doesn't even take a lot of skill. I can just hit start battle position and fast forward and just delete their army for the rest of the day. But you just do way too much damage on the charge, and you don't take any in return for some reason. You have almost infinite mass, it seems. You can just push through things endlessly. Nothing matters to you. You never take any damage. And you can just cycle charge things down all day long. But you can just push through things. Push, 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 push. That's pretty messed up. So there are broken units in the game that it's hard to balance around, because it's hard to like say, okay, well you can only have like one of this until it's hotfixed, or even none of this until it's hotfixed. That's pretty rough. And then all the magic being really bugged. The matchups being kind of wonky right now because they didn't nerf a lot of the parts of Greenskins that people wanted nerfed. And, they even nerfed Norska, who didn't need it. So it's just like, clearly the balance was not designed towards multiplayer. Clearly there wasn't much bug testing on this patch. You know, there's just a lot of things wrong with it. So a lot of people are just having a hard time playing it competitively right now. So that's just to answer some of the questions on stream about why people hate this patch so much and why I was so negative on it, and etc. and etc. It's just, you know, it's really hurting a game that I like a lot and love, and somehow CA just didn't do the basic quality control on their patch before they released it. And it's really disappointing to see. But anyway, yes, Tuskor chariots are pretty broken at the moment, and I am just running through infantry just to prove a point. But I mean, these are Chaos Warriors, these are decent infantry, and even against Cav, they can be pretty good. So at the end of this video, why I dragged you through all this is I think I might have something to potentially help. Maybe. We'll see. I haven't tested this before the stream, so we'll just see how it goes. But I believe Wolfrat Rat Ogre can actually trap up and kill these chariots pretty decently. So we'll see. I am testing this right now. I just based it off of a game I had versus VM Tank, where he took these chariots and I actually managed to take care of them pretty okay. He still won the game, but he won the game because he was better than me, not because of these chariots. So I think Rat Ogres can actually trap them up pretty decently. I think. Now you do a lot of damage. Yeah, you can see Rat Ogres are really getting good punch in, and then Wolf Rats are actually faster and can poison me down, and I have a harder time pushing out of them because they can keep up with me. You can see already my leadership's super low. These Rat Ogres are still on top of me, Poison Rats. Still here as well. So if you're playing this game and you run into the Beastmen, be sure to take at least 2 combos of Wolf Rats and Rat Ogres, and keep them on each of your flanks, and if they ever try to charge in with these chariots, they'll have a really hard time getting in and out. But that's all the advice I have for you on that one, if you want to beat the Beastmen. Now, Beastmen to Skaven is a bad pick for Skaven, but, you know, if you can deal with the Tuskors, maybe you'll be okay. That's what I got for you, but that's the answer to the question of why a lot of people consider this patch is pretty bad. It's not... It's what they didn't buff, it's what they didn't nerf, and it's what they broke about the game that we love so much. That's why a lot of people have been pretty down on it, myself included. See you later.